Hello. We are going to go live tonight with Kristen Jacobson. We're going to be talking kind of all the things, but really, ultimately, it's going to come down to confidence and why it's so important and what to do if you're not feeling confident. So let's see if we can get her on here. Give me just 1 second. And let's try. See how. Let's see how it goes. What? Oh, huh. It worked. There she is.
Yay!
Hello, hello.
Yay!
Let me move my. I feel like my head's always chopped off on these things. It's so funny.
Oh,
It's okay.
I know. And I feel like I'm lost. Like I have to stretch up.
I know. Well, and I'm so short anyway, so it's like I have to have everything like really compact. Because I'm only 5 feet, so I'm like, I gotta move it. So yes. Well,
Are you?
hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah.
actually taller than you. I'm 5'2".
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
yay!
Yep. You're the
Cheers to
tallest
short
one.
people.
I know you're the tallest one in the room today. How fun. I
Yay!
know, I know.
Woohoo!
Well, I'm really excited for this call. I know we've been trying to do this for quite a while. Like I got COVID and then I think you had surgery and then came back and
Yeah,
it's been kind of crazy. So I'm really glad
so
that we're
much going
making this
on.
happen because you've got some amazing things and I want to know your story. And I know so many other women are going to be able to resonate with your story. And I'm just really, really excited to learn more about you and, just talk body positivity and self-confidence and the whole why, and being a woman entrepreneur, I think is just so fascinating to me. So why don't you introduce yourself? Just people who don't know you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Kristen, and I have a business right now called Transform Darkness into Love. And it's based on my experience of going through really quite a long spell of pretty severe depression. And I had been in therapy for a long time, and um, I I just didn't feel like I was getting much better.
Mhm.
And it actually got to the point that I felt like my life had crumbled so far that I actually attempted to unalive
Wow.
myself. And it was after that when I failed, that I knew that I had to figure out a way to want to live and want to be here. And
Yeah.
um, so I sort of set off on an adventure on my own and really started. It was really what helped me so much was self-discovery, and my spiritual awakening
Mhm.
was what really pulled me out, because I had been trying to think my way through,
Yeah.
how do I feel better, work through traumas and work through things in my life. And it's like, yeah, it helped to work through those things, but it didn't really change how I felt.
Hmm.
And so it was really a spiritual
Yeah.
process, and just learning some tools, some specific tools to help me change my
Mm.
thoughts and help me to really heal.
Yeah.
So but that journey took me on such an incredible spiritual journey of learning so much.
Mm.
I started off learning just for my own benefit and for like a hobby, to learn astrology and learn Reiki and
Mm.
learn about the chakras and all this stuff. Was doing it just because I loved it. I had no idea
Yeah.
it would turn into a business,
How long
which
ago
is
did
pretty
this
cool.
happen? Yeah. How long ago did this start,
This
really?
this was yeah, it was after I got out of my long, really difficult marriage.
Mhm.
I'd been married for 20 years. I got married really young, my high school sweetheart. And it was after that that I really started exploring, like, who am I? Because I didn't really feel like I ever knew who I was before I got married.
Right? Yeah. Like, how are we supposed to know who
I
we are
was so
before
young.
18? It's so hard. It's like,
Yeah. And here I am at 40, about 40 years
mhm.
old, and I don't even know who I am. I had
Yeah.
never lived on my own. And so it was around the age of 40, and I moved to San Francisco after getting
Mm.
divorced, and just started taking classes and reading all kinds of
Yeah.
books, and it just really just opened me up, and
Mm. How
everything
did you
started
stumble
changing.
on this? Did somebody like introduce you to it? Did you just like pick up a book one day? stumble across like a flyer? Like how did this happen? Because I hear people like, "Oh, I'm going on a spiritual journey,"
Yeah,
or "I'm starting to study down this specific path," and it's like, "Oh, it just found me. I didn't find it, it found me." Right? Like how did this
that's a
happen?
good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it because I didn't really set out to have a spiritual
Yeah.
journey. I mean, I was searching for my spiritual beliefs. I had been my whole life, going to different
Mm-hmm.
churches and going everywhere I could to try to figure out where do I fit in, how do I define my beliefs?
Yeah.
And so it was really honestly just an interest in astrology because I always thought it was a fun
Yeah.
hobby. And I found where they held classes at a little place called Crystal Way in San Francisco when I moved there. And it was there that it was the people that I
Yeah.
met and all the things they were studying. There was a lady that in my astrology class that was a Reiki master, and she was getting ready to start teaching classes. So I'm like,
That
oh,
sounds
okay,
fun.
yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'll check that out. And then someone else was reading oracle cards, and I thought, ooh, I want to learn that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started taking that up. So it was really just this environment of in San Francisco of
Yeah.
just delving into classes in the Castro.
Yeah. What
So
a fun place too to be
yeah,
introduced to this, because I've walked those streets and I've gone on the visits and I've done the touristy things and stuff like that, but I've also gone to like the little nookie places, and it's just the energy there is so different. Like it's so, I'm gonna say high vibing, but super low key. Like you gotta be there to
yeah,
kind of
that's a good,
experience it.
yeah,
It's just like you can stroll as if like there's no time to needed to get anywhere. Like it's just so chill. But you're like
yeah.
really motivated to do things. It's fun. I love living there. So what a
It's
cool
true.
place to be
Yeah,
introduced to this. So
it
once you kind
was.
of jumped into this, what happened? What did you start to like notice about yourself, like as you were like taking in all this new study and you're learning things and you're trying things? Because I'm like you, I'm very curious. Like even if it may not be my belief that I grew up with, or I not, I'm so open-minded to learning about it. Like my favorite courses in college were like religion and culture and spirituality and just all these random classes that had nothing to do really do with my degree, but because I was in a social science degree anyways, I just am fascinated by people and why the heck they do the things they do. I'm so fascinated by it. So it's just kind of a fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. I've always
Hmm.
been drawn to the same things. Like those are the types of classes that have always interested me too. And I think it was two things. It was in the astrology classes as we studied astrology, what we did was we each used our own chart.
Okay.
And so when we would learn of the different houses and the different signs, the different planets, we would use them by applying it to our own chart and then the charts of the other people in
Hmm.
the room, just to help us with variety. But what I started noticing was as I started learning about myself, like it rang so true to who I am. And I feel like most of my life I was fighting against who I am. Like I wasn't liking
Hmm.
who I was. Like I felt like I should be like this or should be like that. And I don't know, seeing how I am on a cosmic divine level,
Hmm.
like I was created to be this
Yeah.
way. It was kind of like this giving up,
Hmm.
this letting go of trying to be a certain way
Hmm.
and just allowing myself to just be who I am. And it helped me to
Yeah,
accept myself. And the self-acceptance is really the road and the doorway to self-love.
for sure.
And so that was the journey with the astrology. And then with the Reiki was really learning about our energy and our
Hmm.
bodies and learning how to work with it. So I learned all about the chakras and about how we are spiritual beings living a physical experience, meaning we are all energy.
Yeah.
And so when I started, and Reiki's a form of healing. If any viewers are not
Hmm.
aware,
Yeah,
Reiki
I know a
is an
little, but not
energy
enough
healing.
to even have a like
Yeah.
intelligent
So
conversation.
when you do, yeah. So when you do Reiki or receive Reiki, it's race the person giving the Reiki is honestly just being a conduit
Mm-hmm.
for the energy to come through them
Yeah,
from a higher source,
very interesting.
and so and it can be hands on or hands
Yeah,
right above the
yeah.
body,
Mm,
and it's it just makes you realize how much energy can be transferred from person to person,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can truly receive healing through energetic
Yeah.
pathways. And learning about the chakras and the energy of each one individually that makes us a
Right.
whole, I just started realizing and practicing it. It felt like I was moving into my body and out of my head and into my body.
That's so smart
And
too.
that felt,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it took me
Mm-hmm.
out of my head, out of that
Yeah.
thinking my way through, and which I couldn't seem to logically get my way through
Right.
depression. Or, you know, it was like I could, yeah, I could say, yeah, depression is this thing of spiraling and being in your head and all this
Yeah.
stuff, but you know,
I feel it in my bones,
it's
actually. I don't feel it in my head so much. When I get into that mood or that mindset, I feel it like all over my body. I feel like it's just closing in on me almost a little bit. And I don't feel like I can be as free as I want.
mm,
So my stomach feels tight, right? My digestive feels weird. My legs feel like everything feels weird on me when I get into that. So I believe what you're saying because I felt it in a different way. Like other people have explained it like in their head, like they just can't get those thoughts out of their head. I've never had the thoughts. I've always had the feeling through my whole body. So it's just a yeah, it's just
interesting.
a different
Yeah.
experience, but I can feel the energy of it. Like I can feel like when I'm feeling my high vibe self and my cylinders are all going at the right time, like everything on my body is just like standing up, like it's ready to go time, versus before it's
Yeah.
just like, whoa, like let me just curl up with the blanket and stay away from people for a minute. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. It
yeah.
is that, I think, when you get out of your head and just sort of,
Mm-hmm.
you sort of let
Yeah.
go and allow your body to do the work,
Sure.
it takes you through a process, and sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable at
Mm-hmm.
first, you know, because you're shedding things that have been stuck in your body. Because everything we
Yeah.
experience, trauma, words that are said to
Mm-hmm.
us, things that we say, every experience lives in our
Yeah.
body. And so if when we hang on to things, when we have negative emotion about
Mm-hmm.
things, it gets stuck.
Yeah.
It's the positive emotion that
I've
keeps
heard
things flowing.
it like
And
there's
so when it
traumas
gets
in your
stuck, it's like,
muscles. I've heard things like that. Like the traumas
yeah,
get stuck. Yeah.
they
Yeah. That's so
do. And so
fascinating.
Reiki, that energy gets it
Yeah.
moving. And so sometimes you can really heal from traumas just by using the energy in your body, and not necessarily having to think your way
Yeah.
through understanding
Mm-hmm.
it and healing from it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's so cool.
and so I just really,
It is just
yeah,
such a neat thing,
I love it
you know?
too.
Like
It is so neat.
it's one of those things, Kristen, that's just so out of this world, but yet so tangible at the same time, I feel like it's
Yeah.
you know, you have to really, and I've heard the negative side of it, right? Like the negative piece is like, oh, it's just all what you're thinking and it's just you're moving to the beat and different things like that. But honestly, I mean, I don't know enough about to talk about it, but I've been in environments where this has been so relevant in my life, like in that moment. Like I've set through some beautiful, what are they called? The sound ones. They do the,
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. The sound
yes,
therapy.
like I felt things. I'm like the
Amazing.
energy and just it feels so good and just my head gets so light and I love that, you know.
Yeah.
So I love
So
in this, yeah,
yeah, so part of what's happening right there when you're having that
yeah,
experience is that you're actually listening to something that's matching
mm-hmm.
your frequency, that's your real frequency. And that's why it feels so
Mm-hmm.
good and it just resonates, is because your body is actually that same frequency of energy when you're in your power,
Yeah,
when you're realizing the power that you are, that you're a spiritual being and we are so much more than these
oh for
physical
sure,
bodies.
yeah,
And when you start living from that
mm-hmm.
space and really using the energy of who we
Yeah,
are, I found that that's what helped me
mm-hmm.
with my depression more than anything. And I just started noticing so many changes, and it was easier to heal from my past and different things
Yeah,
by doing it energetically rather than sitting on a couch
right.
for 20 years. every week.
Hey, you know
Nothing
what?
against
Like I'm
therapy.
I'm a
Therapy's
total
wonderful.
therapy, like pro therapy all day long. I mean, I went to
Yes.
school to do this and then I changed gears halfway through. Like I really thought I was going to be in like four walls, a couch, and like a sofa seat lifestyle. I thought that was going to be my work environment. So different today.
Yeah.
but but I am super pro therapy.
Yeah.
But much like you, I actually took time off to heal myself from a relationship. I decided to take a few years off of coaching and just putting myself out there to really heal myself. And I went down, I've had a couple different instances in my life where I've had to pull back and really go get one with nature and like get grounded and like not. My doctor was like, you just need to take all these prescriptions. And I'm just like, I don't want to take all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I don't take really ibuprofen or anything now because it really does make me sick. So I don't like taking too many things. And so it's like I would go out and go hiking and go buy bee water and or go buy water. I would go do that and I would eat right and I would try to just heal myself from from the inside out. And it's interesting because I know that we want to talk about body positivity and how all of this kind of comes together. Because to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable in my skin in those areas. I thought there was something wrong with me internally and it was reflecting on the outside. And I've had to take the time to step away to be able to shine, I think, how I am today versus where I was maybe a couple of years ago or years prior to that, right? There's been so many ups and downs in most of our lives that it's so beautiful to step back and reflect and be like, oh, I can see not only the actions, the thoughts, but also the feelings that I was feeling at that time. It was so heavy, right? And so now
Yeah.
I've I actually coached myself. Thank God I have a little bit of tools in my tool belt as a coach that I was able to coach myself, I'm going to say to success. And I took a program and I really took that program and then took it internally, or not internally, but took it to myself and said, okay, do the freaking work. Like it will work, but you've got to do the work and you've got to show up to do it. And I went through and I started like thumbing through my life. Like what is really holding me back and I'm not making room for and I don't have energy for and what's really irritating me and underneath my skin. And it was so enlightening. It was so freeing. It was so
Yeah.
I couldn't stop freaking talking about it, to be honest with you, because it was such an experience. It was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat. I love
Mhm.
that. It reminds me a lot of my own journey in that I really discovered because I had you studying psychology for so long and me being in therapy for so long, like it was so helpful, such a pivotal part of my
Yeah,
healing. Like I understood everything that was going on, but I think it's the when you add also the energetic spiritual side to it, it's like it brings mind, body, and soul
it does.
together.
Yeah.
So just understanding it alone isn't enough. Just a spiritual connection alone isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
You need to when you have mind, body, and soul all working
Mm-hmm.
together, it creates harmony within
Yeah.
yourself, true healing
Mm-hmm.
within yourself. And I think that's why you need that balance of understand. That's why I in my business I focus on mindset and
Yeah.
spirituality, which may seem like an oxymoron, but they really
I
blend
agree.
together.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to have that
Yeah.
balance of really understanding in your mind as
Mm-hmm.
well as the
Yeah.
energetic work
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
really
mean, I
makes
could see it. It's
the
like
difference.
how
Yeah.
could you coach somebody? And now this isn't where I coach people today. You coach differently. You coach women different at a different level than I do on different topics, right? But it's like I couldn't imagine
Hmm.
being like, okay, Kristen, it's time for you to meditate, and you're over here like just pissed off at the world, and your mind is just like, this isn't gonna work. I just can't stay still. I don't like the air. I don't like the water. I don't like the people. I don't like the this. I don't like the that. It's like, no, be peaceful and calm. It doesn't work. Right.
So true. So true. Yes.
My
You
interpretation of
can't
how I would
force it
coach
like
that.
that. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
like trying to
you
teach
just can't
my
force it.
yeah, I remember trying to teach my 7-year old how to meditate. And he's 10 now, but when he was about 5, 6, 7, like I would teach him how to sit on a mat and just sit still and just try to think still. And it's like I even have like old school reels somewhere out in the world of like videotaping us doing this. And it's like here I'm super still and he's just like over here fighting with the mat and doing all the things. And it's just he couldn't get into it. It wasn't his thing at that age,
Oh,
but it's so fun just
yeah.
to see like different energy levels and how to balance that because I know women who are just like my 7-year-old at that time, like that just can't sit still and think for 5 seconds, right? Yeah. Of
Yeah. But at least you planted those
Yeah,
seeds, you know. It's like you have to start somewhere and it could
course.
be a place of discomfort at first, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure at some point
Yeah.
he'll be like, maybe I'll give that another
Yeah.
try,
So walk me through a little bit about how you use this today. And I know you went through this journey. Where does this show up today for you and then for the women that you help?
So right now, I actually am really focused on body image right now. And a lot of it is because of my own
Mm,
struggles. As I went through this long process, about a decade of releasing and
mhm,
healing and understanding, I felt like I did get to a place of
mm,
accepting myself and loving myself, except I didn't really feel like I had done that and
mm,
applied that to my body.
yeah,
And I still had such body image issues. I was so tired of hating my
yeah,
body and this
yeah,
yo-yo living in my body. And I just was like, I've got to have a
yeah.
different approach to dealing with my body. And so that's where I've really um that's where my focus is now, is really trying to love myself, not only my insides and my spiritual self, but really love my physical
Mhm,
self, the shell that I'm living in, that I have not always been very nice
yeah.
to, but has always been there for me.
Right.
you know?
Like how grateful are we that our toes are intact today and keeping us standing upright, right? Or our
Yes.
legs are able to walk up the stairs and carry the groceries and the baby or whatever it is. Yeah, like there's not enough,
Yeah.
I think, appreciation when it comes to that. I enjoy working with you and being your friend because there is this part where this is so relevant in my journey. Like I've been all different sizes. I've had two babies. I've had two C-sections. I definitely don't look like I'm 20 any longer. I just turned 41, and there's been times that I'm like, I've even had liposuction. Like, there's been times in my life that I have really tried to alter the way I look so I can show up differently because I thought, oh, if I lose the weight or if I look like this and my hair is dyed or my makeup's on perfect, I'll feel better and I'll love myself more and I'll do all these things. And really, I feel like for myself, I'm not speaking for other women, but when my makeup was on and before I found out I had rosacea, now I have severe rosacea and I don't wear anything. But prior to that, I was all makeup all the time and I was actually more anxiety ridden that something was wrong with my makeup. I was always like, oh my gosh, my hair's not right. My nails aren't right. My lips aren't right. My this isn't right. And I lived in Vegas at the
Oh.
time. So it really did affect a lot of those
Oh.
pieces, right? Like you kind of are like playing with it, like, what is it? You're trying to like compete with the Joneses or whatever it is. Like I was constantly like
Yeah.
trying to make sure that I'm looking as good as the other girl so that way I can make the money I was trying to make. I was in marketing. And so it's like, man, you got to look good. You got to play the part, right? And it's interesting how once I've walked away from that, how I've been able to, I decided in 2017, I was like, I'm not going to dye my hair no more. And this is my own personal reason. Like there was no other reason. It's just like, I'm not going to dye my hair no more. I'm not going to put these chemicals in my body. I want to just really release a lot of this and only do what's absolutely necessary. And then I thought, oh, okay, great. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better, less toxins. I should be way thinner. Totally, that didn't work, by the way. But I feel more confident. I actually wouldn't even get onto Instagram without makeup on. I was like, oh my God, I have to have a filter. now I'm just like, whatever, I just show up however I am. But it's taken me years
Yay!
to
I
get
love
here.
that.
You know what I mean? It's taken me so long to get here and to actually love
Yeah.
myself and my smile and appreciate what other people appreciate as well about me. Cause I'm always like, yeah, okay, it's weird. They're like, oh, you've got that smile. And I'm like, "Mm, no, it's weird. Uh, you know, but it's like I've learned to just allow that to be and to see it as well, you know, and really just kind of have a different
Yeah.
eye at it.
Yeah, thank you for
Mhm.
sharing. Yeah, I can really relate to that. And I think that's a lot of what it was for me is I had always been
Yeah.
trying to coming from a place of if I can fix how my
Mhm.
body looks, I will feel better on the
Yeah.
inside. And so it was the same thing for me. It was always doing all these things to look better so that I
Mhm.
would feel better. And so this yo-yo dieting, and I think I've done every diet out there, and I'm good at them,
Yeah.
really
Are
good.
you?
I'll lose 30 pounds on a
Yeah.
diet. But I gain it back. And
Yeah.
it's like that is so mentally
Why do you
like
think you
just
stopped the habit of like doing what you're doing, or you're like, okay, it worked, I lost the
yeah.
weight, now I can stop, I'm good, or like, what do you
I
think it is?
I guess so. I think it is, I think what it is that it's not the
Mm-hmm.
fix. It's like we've had it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the point that I came to because I don't know why I always gained back. I don't know if I got comfortable and it's like, ah, nah, it's no big deal,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Yeah.
I've done it so many times. It
Mm-hmm.
just is,
I always give up. I
yeah.
always
And
give up
so
like
I,
halfway through the challenge of whatever the challenge is to do. I'm always like, I'm really tired. I'll do it
yeah,
tomorrow. I'm a horrible like
yeah,
diet challenge person. Like it was way easier for me to change my lifestyle and eat more fish and eat
yeah,
more vegetables and like try to just put my Fitbit on or my Apple Watch on and walk around. Like that's easier for me to do than like cut out all carbs and then go walk 5 miles and starve to death. Like after I got liposuction, it was probably the hardest part of my entire life. I had just had my second baby. And I did lipo. It was so expensive, so painful. And they're like, all
oh,
you can eat is 1,200 calories. And the doctor literally said this to me. He goes, you can eat those 1,200 calories in one slice of cake, or you can find other like 3 meals a day that you can like. And now I'm years later, I'm like 10 years after this, and I'm just like, okay, either I can eat the whole pumpkin pie. Or now I don't keep myself to like a calorie restriction now, but there's it's just always like in like in my brain now, you know, like
yeah,
it's there. It's like, okay, you
right,
can eat this or this, you know. Like I'm gonna go make some salmon
right.
afterwards. So, but for me, it was totally changing my lifestyle, like learning how to eat better and then sticking to that and just I'm gonna say treating our body more like a temple, like the way we want to be
Hmm.
treated on the outside, but treating it better on the inside. Like, you know,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah. And that's really the place I came to is I started thinking about my own body and how I had been trying the same
mhm,
way for 50 years of dieting, changing my body, working out, getting on a workout
mhm,
program, getting all, strong and toned and everything. And that was great,
yeah,
but it just never lasted.
mm,
And what the point that I came to is like, well, I've healed so much emotionally and mentally through energetic work. Maybe that's what I need to apply to my
yeah,
body. And I also came to a place where it was like, well, maybe I need to heal from the inside out.
mm,
If I can heal from the inside and love myself and
yeah,
love my body from the inside, then maybe I'll treat it
yeah,
differently, or something will
mhm,
shift. And that's really what it ended up being for me. I definitely am more comfortable in my skin now from just learning to love my body
mhm,
from the inside and for what it is, and for
mhm,
really working with the energy in it.
yeah,
um and I noticed that I all these realizations just started coming to me, which really pushed me
yeah,
to create this course, this guide, really honestly for
yeah,
myself. Was I started noticing that no matter what weight I would sit there and hate my body and go, gosh, even just 10 pounds ago, I looked so much better. Why didn't I appreciate my body more and like it more when it
mhm,
was that 10 pounds
yeah,
lighter? And I do that throughout my
yeah,
whole life. And it all of a sudden it dawned on me, well, what if right now I'm hating my body, but what if I gained 5 or 10 pounds and I'm wishing I had appreciated what my body was right now?
Right.
And I realized that's the game I've been playing my whole
Hmm.
life, is wishing I was what I used to be,
Yeah.
wishing I was more toned like I used to be, wishing I was thinner like I used to be.
Hmm.
And it was like days when I thought I was so overweight. I look back and I just go, are you kidding me?
Hmm.
Those pictures, I look so good, and I just remember how I felt in those pictures. I felt so uncomfortable in my own skin
Yeah.
and fat and yucky.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, it
Yeah.
really is not about our bodies.
Hmm.
It's about how we feel on the inside
Hmm.
about our
Yes.
bodies. And then the confidence comes through. And that's when I was
Hmm.
like, okay, so a diet is not the answer
Hmm.
here. It's not going to
Yeah.
fix it. I don't care
Mm.
how many pounds I lose. It's not going to
No.
necessarily make me feel better about my body. And even when I would lose 20 or 30 pounds, I can remember looking in the mirror going, yeah, I look a little better, but I don't feel like I look all that different. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
always see myself as being
Yeah.
that much better,
Yeah.
looking that much better. So
Yeah, I love
it just was
that
like, yeah,
because
there's
I
more
love
to
that
it than
though. I
this.
love that you came to that realization and like, hold on, something's not right. I saw a meme somewhere and it's like, why didn't I appreciate my body when I was the size 7 instead of being a size 7, wishing I was a size 2? Now that I'm size 22, I wish I was a
Yeah.
size 7, right? And it's so
Yeah.
true because I remember
Or
being in
even
middle
wishing
school
you were
growing
back
up
at
in
the
Laguna.
18.
Oh, well, yeah, I had just
Yeah.
had a baby, but prior to that. But, I mean, I remember in seventh grade being on the beach, I was a surfer, and it's like all of my girlfriends, their thighs didn't touch and their bodies were smaller and petite. And I was always a very curvy girl, even in a size 6 or 7. I've always been curvy. I've always had butt and
Me
hips, and I've always had the thing,
too.
and I've always felt ashamed of it. And I was like, and thank God for the Kardashians and all these other girls out here who are like, yes, this is the way I want to live my life and be curvy. Because I'm like, at least they've made curvy cool again. But when I was in
Yeah.
seventh grade, that wasn't the way. And so I've
Yeah.
I've appreciated, my belly that has housed my kids, and I've appreciated, my just my the way my body has changed throughout the years to be able to keep me healthy and protect me. It has not really shut down on me. It's done a really good job of protecting me. And I think that that's where our mindset needs to kind of switch to, is just
Yeah.
be grateful for what it's doing for us on a daily basis. Like I have a friend
On a
who's
daily
excited every day she poops.
basis.
She's like, girl, I pooped today. I was like, sweet, you did your thing.
Woohoo!
Yeah, like, hey, our bodies are working the way they're supposed to
Yeah.
be working. And I think it's so important to do that. By the way, I had boys, so I'm not shy about anything. So, but it's like, it's just so cool to see our bodies just do this. So now, here you are, you've gone through the spiritual journey, and you've gone through all this self confidence and body confidence, and you're getting to the place you want. And now you're helping other people. And I know I've been kind of along for a little bit of the ride here. But I would love for you to share with us about what you have now and how people can work with you, and, just kind of go from there. What's next for you?
Yeah. So, the guide, want me to talk about the guide a
Yeah.
little
Tell
bit?
us
Is
about
that
the
what you're
guide.
asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What are you
yeah, so the
creating?
guide is really this process of going through the chakras, and each chakra. So our bodies are made of energy, and our chakras are the energy centers, kind of like the volume button. It's like
Hmm.
it's what controls, the volume of
Yeah.
each energy in our body. And so as we balance and nurture each one, we balance and nurture different aspects of who we are. And by the time you work through all of the chakras when it comes to body image, you've really touched on every area of what we deal with as women with our
Hmm.
bodies. And so we start out with the root chakra, looking at our limited beliefs, like the foundation
Hmm.
of how we feel about our bodies and how we view our bodies and
Yeah.
food. Like, so like for me, limited beliefs such as when I was a little girl, I witnessed my dad body shame my
Right.
mom. And I didn't really understand it at the time for what it was, but I knew it made me feel very uncomfortable, and I couldn't stand the way it made my mom
Right.
feel. Like, it made her very sad. And it was around that time that I started recognizing my body. Like, I never really paid much attention to how it looked. I was
Yeah.
a kid. I was like just having fun in it.
Yeah.
And I started noticing, oh, I've got a poochy belly. I've got like I started noticing things
Mm-hmm.
around that time. And so it's we form these beliefs when we're little, or like even simple things like someone telling you to finish your plate before you get up from the table. Like
Yeah.
that's, I know that's a well-meaning thing to do for
Mm-hmm.
your child, but it also creates a belief system
Mm-hmm.
in your mind about how you should always finish your plate.
Yeah. Don't
And
waste
so just
food.
different things. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like really starting out looking at the belief system and the foundation of how we believe about our bodies and about food. Like, what are your beliefs about food?
Yeah.
Because we have them.
Yeah.
You know, we believe, oh, this food's gonna make me fat. This food's gonna,
For sure.
give me this vitamin. This,
Yeah.
the way we look at
Mm-hmm.
food, um, and so it's really starting from that foundation and then working through like it's also learning to
Mm-hmm.
ground the root chakra. It's learning how to ground ourselves. And I think a lot of us, I realized it with my depression. I had no idea how beneficial grounding would
Mm-hmm.
be. I always felt pretty unsafe, but that's not how I would describe it. I just felt all over the
Yeah.
place and not real focused. And when I started grounding, I started realizing, oh, this is amazing. Like it's making me feel so much more focused and grounded and not so just out there, my thoughts going everywhere.
Yeah.
It just is really powerful. And then work through into the sacral chakra. You're working with our
Mm-hmm.
sensuality, our pleasure, our creativity,
Mm-hmm.
which are huge parts of who we are. Our feminine essence
Mm-hmm.
is our pleasure and sensuality. And pleasure is not just
Right.
sensuality. It's not just sexual. It's every kind of pleasure,
Yeah.
whether that be food,
Mm-hmm.
spa, walk in nature, anything.
Mm-hmm.
I found that connecting to our pleasure really connects us to our feminine essence
Mm-hmm.
and makes you like appreciate being in your body more and making life worth living. And our sensuality, like how many people out there don't accept and embrace their own
Mm-hmm.
sensuality, and it turns into ugly things.
Right.
Look at all the sexual crimes we have out
Correct.
there and how disconnected we can be in our
Mm-hmm.
relationships if we're not connected to our own
Very true.
body and confident in our
Mm-hmm.
sensuality,
Yeah.
and um, then you move into the solar plexus. It's all about confidence and learning how to really pull that out of ourselves because it lives in
Yeah.
us. The confidence is
It
in
does.
us. It's a matter of tapping into it. Um, and so it's that. And then you move into the heart chakra, which is,
Mm-hmm.
obviously learning to love ourselves, having compassion for ourselves. We as women are so compassionate to the
Mm-hmm.
world. We're so compassionate to our children, our friends, our partners, our people we don't
Yeah.
even know, people in Gaza, people in Ukraine, people going through
Yeah.
horrible things, but we don't do that to ourselves.
No.
And so it's learning to have also the heart chakra chapter is really all about gratitude too, like really learning how to truly have gratitude for every aspect of our
Yeah.
bodies. Like it just does so much for us every single day. um and so really learning to create a real acceptance and
Mm-hmm.
love for yourself and your body. And then the throat chakra, which I found super impactful for myself, was our inner dialogue, how we talk to our
Mm-hmm.
bodies, how we talk to ourselves about what we ate
Yeah.
last night, or what I didn't work out this morning like I said I
Mm-hmm.
would. And oh, I look at my belly in these jeans, like this muffin top is just, the things that we say to
Fine.
ourselves. And I'm saying it very
Oh,
nicely
for
right now.
sure.
I,
Yeah.
I used to talk so ugly to
Yeah.
myself. And so it's really learning how to tools to
Mm.
help change that inner dialogue. And the flip side is how our bodies communicate with
Yeah.
us. Our bodies are always communicating with us.
Mm-hmm.
Always, always, always. And it's a matter of becoming in tune with them to understand what it's trying to tell us that it
Mm-hmm.
needs, or which way to go, or what to do. Like our bodies are truly in charge, far more than our minds are. We just have it
Yeah.
backwards. And then third eye is all about
Mm-hmm.
intuition and intuitive eating. And I found that this chapter was it really helped me move away from dieting, was really learning the communication of my body,
Mm-hmm.
and then learning that my through intuition is where I can um, uh,
Hmm.
decipher that language
Yeah.
that it's speaking to me. And I started noticing like these subtle little cravings. Like I remember going through this time where I was constantly craving beet goat cheese salad. Like what a weird
Right.
craving. But I was craving it like every day.
Yeah.
It's what I wanted for lunch every day. It's like I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I was also having a medical issue that wasn't being
Hmm.
diagnosed.
Hmm.
And they were doing test after test trying to figure out what was going on. Well, they finally found out I had a diseased
Hmm.
gallbladder. And the number one food for treating your gallbladder is
Interesting.
beets.
So your
And
body was
so it's
telling
just
you
realizing
what
my
it
body
needed.
really has been trying to help
Yeah.
me.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
exactly. It was trying to
Mm.
help. And so it's really becoming in tune with
Mm.
that and
Mine tells me I need
learning,
nachos
what
all
really
the
works for your
time,
body.
Kristen. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm like, what do nachos solve? I don't know. We need to figure that out medically. Let me tell
Right?
you.
I love nachos too. They are so good. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so with you on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
and so really learning how to, like, we have so
Mm.
much inner wisdom, and
Yeah.
that's what the third eye is all about, is our inner wisdom and recognizing it. And there's all kinds of tools throughout that chapter to help you figure out how to connect or to go
Hmm.
deeper with it, with yourself. And then of course the seventh chakra, being the crown chakra, is really about our spiritual
Yeah.
connection, how we are so much more than our bodies,
Hmm.
and that we have so much support around us spiritually that we don't even recognize, or don't until we do.
Right.
Um, and so it's really expanding on that in the seventh chakra. So we really go through every aspect of our bodies, how we relate with our bodies, and
Hmm.
really come at it from an energetic standpoint. And each chapter also goes into how to balance
Mm.
that chakra, tools to just balance, not even working
Right.
through it with the topics, but to just balance, essential oils and
Hmm.
crystals and foods to eat and yoga poses. And there's all kinds of things you can do to balance
Yeah.
your chakra, that's just a little easy tool to use, that is more powerful than we think it's going to
That's so
be.
amazing.
I used to think, oh, crystals, what could they possibly, like, come on. But when I really started learning
Yeah.
about them and using them, they really do. They
Hmm.
really they really add to the momentum of an
Yeah.
energy. It's really cool.
Yeah,
So,
I never got
yeah.
into a lot of this. I do have like a little basket of gemstones and crystals and things like that. And it's so funny, like my friend Sarah, she's like, don't touch my crystals. You'll like what is it, de-energize them or
Deactivate
deactivate
or
them. And I'm like, okay, I won't touch your crystals.
yeah.
I didn't know. But it's so interesting
Yeah.
when you start getting into this. Like I used to just pick them up because I thought they were pretty stones. I didn't really actually know that there was other things. But when I was a little girl, like I would dig up in our backyard, we'd find quartz crystals back there, like big chunks and things like that. My stepdad had made my mom this beautiful necklace, and I now have it. And it's such a nice, beautiful piece of crystal. And it's like, it's so cool. Like it came from our backyard. And again, we just thought it was pretty. It looked like a diamond, so we just moved with it. I was a little girl, you know what I mean? Like, but now that I'm
Yeah,
older, it's like, okay,
absolutely.
I know that there's other gemstones out there and there's other things that can bring you the energy or bring it in as it is, and it helps calm you or whatever it may be that it helps do, right? And so I feel like
Yeah.
for me, I feel like God put this stuff here on earth for us to uncover, and it's our job to uncover it and to use it the way it's intended to be used, right? And so that's
Yeah.
how I've kind of blended it together.
That's a great way to
Yeah.
say it. I love
Yeah.
that. I agree. I think Mother Earth, God, they all came
Mhm.
together and gave us
Yeah.
everything that we need.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everything that we need,
Absolutely. I mean,
you know?
I know we all think we need our cell phones, but we actually don't. Just to do these lives, and that's it. But
Yeah.
they don't, but other than that, like we really do, the earth actually does have everything we need on it. We just have to go uncover it and put it to work. Like it works if
We
we work it,
do.
and I really do believe that. So I would love to, I mean, first off, thank you so much for sharing your story and being vulnerable and coming on here and hanging out with me and doing a live. I know that your
Yeah.
guide is for sale now or is on wait list still.
It
Okay.
is. It's live now.
Okay, perfect. So you guys can run over there, check that out, go to her page. and connect with you as well, because I think that people, as they find this, like, I think I want to encourage people to connect and build a community around us that are of like-minded people and who can support each other. It doesn't have to mean that you have to go buy products. It could just mean that you're cheering them on from afar, and that's beautiful as well, just in its own sense. So again, Kristen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for doing this. This is awesome. It's great to connect on here and get to talk about it. And it's my favorite stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So I just love it. And, and if you go check out in my store and through
Hmm.
my link, there's three, just so you know, there's three different options. One is just to buy the guide,
Yeah.
one comes with coaching. I've always been someone who I love to work with a coach.
Hmm.
I just find that I really get more out of it when I
Yeah.
work with a coach. So that's the second package. And the third package has a soul blueprint reading with it, which helps you understand yourself, the astrology
Hmm.
and human design part of it that I went through, really self-discovery and why am I here and who am I really? And so that's the third package. So there's, just so you know, if you go check it out,
Yeah.
you have
That's
those
so cool.
options.
I mean, you're such a fascinating individual, and I love the things that you're interested in and you're obsessed with, because it makes it so much more fun to be your friend. Because we're not exactly the same, and
Oh,
yet
thank
we're very
you.
different, but yet we're still so aligned in so many things, and I think it's so cool. So
We
very much.
are,
Yeah.
and I love working with you. I appreciate you so much. You're just a godsend for me.
Thank
Just
you.
the guidance that you provide and the help with, like, I love all of the spiritual stuff and
Yes.
all the work that I do. I love it so much, but the business aspects I struggle a little bit with.
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
you have been wonderful for me.
Yeah.
I
Hey, you know
appreciate you
what?
so much.
I always say this to everybody I work with. I'm like, you didn't go to school to be a business owner. You went to school to go learn how to do whatever it is that you do, right? If you're a dentist, or you're an
Yeah.
HVAC technician, or you're a spiritual guide, or you are a M&M maker. I don't know. You went to school to go learn how to do that, or you did it through experience. You didn't learn how to step out on your own and go start a business, right? And I didn't go to school to do that either. I actually learned by a lot of trial and error, and then inserting myself into businesses as I was a young entrepreneur. So, you know, I'm just sharing what
Yeah.
I learned along the way.
Yeah, I love
That's it.
it.
It's just fun.
It's
It's fun for
helpful.
us.
Very
Well, thank
helpful.
you so
Really
much.
appreciate
You
it.
have a lovely day. I'm going to go have a lovely
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you,
Yay.
Kristen.
Sounds perfect.
Chat soon.
All right. Thank
See
you
ya.
so much, Tammy.
Bye.
All right. Mwah.
Mwah.
Love
See
ya.
ya.